video games. They're something we've all bonded over at some point in our lives, whether it be with our friends, with our family. At an earlier point in life, video games were seen as this like holy relic of my generation, as just a way to like not just pass the time, it was a way of living. Nowadays, however, I believe being a gamer is a bit of a sketchy hobby if I'm being real. But even without getting too into the gritty nitty, most studios nowadays let the business side of production determine how games are made. While inherently that's not a bad thing, it often leads to most gaming experiences lacking in real fun. No! So I just want to take a quick step back to talk about some nostalgic games during the 2000 to 2010s.
Wow, I really do miss it all.
And talk about their impact and rank them on how much I love them. So, enjoy. Alright, so these are all the games I have collected from my childhood. I have them divided into different groups, like this section is PC gaming, this is Xbox, we got the Wii, and then finally PlayStation 2. I guess without further ado, let's start off with the G-Man, the Gary's mod. This is my most played Steam game. If you go to my Steam profile, this is my _1 most played game, for the simple fact that you can literally do whatever you want. I've done some crazy shit in it, and I do not regret any of it. If you grew up in the early 2000s, the 2010s I mean, you might remember certain YouTubers like Venturian Tale, but then you also had people like Markiplier, Vanoss. Don't forget those boys. So yeah, I think this is the first solid S of the group. Next up is also a classic, Happy Wheels. I don't see many people talk about this nowadays, but this is just a really old Flash game from back in the day. And I used to put my hours into it, not gonna lie. A lot of the levels were really creative. But the real fun came from just playing the like preset, pre-made levels just for the game. That is so loud. I specifically remember this one level where you played as this like underwater submarine guy, and you went around like beating people up. What, did I just die? Oh my god, I just died. What? Okay, we're gonna beat this fucker actually this time. He got sent to the Shadow Realm. Alright, this is it this time. Oh! I swear this has never happened before. Yeah, I did it. Now that's a deserved win right there.
Este burrito es muy bueno, pero necesito salsa verde.
You're welcome.
Get ready for the time of your life. Hello there, how are you doing?
I don't like you.
You're my new best friend.
Me and you should not be friends.
Oh my gosh.
There's also another one where it was like a crazy train chase thing. Ozzy would be proud. Oh god, I'm getting assaulted. Oh Jesus Christ. It is a fun game, but it's not really like... I mean, I have my memories with it, of watching people like Tobuscus play the game. Jacksepticeye is what made it like really take off during his time, but I'll never forget the GOAT. Do you like my sword,
my diamond sword.
We don't talk about what Tobuscus does nowadays. Alright, so next up we have a TF2.
Last one alive, lock the door!
You're ugly.
Good work, Genji!
TF2, I have a huge soft spot for it. I still play it to this day. A lot of these I still play to this day, but TF2, it's like my second most played game on Steam. right next to Gary's mod. The Meet the Cast videos, or Meet the Team videos, were some of the best marketing for a game that you can have. Overwatch did it as well, but I think Team Fortress 2 did it better, me personally. So it really got me like super invested into the world, the characters. Even if it's written like a mobile game lore, it's still got enough depth to it that it keeps me invested, and I'm so glad they actually came out with the final comic already. It has taken way too long. I really wanted to know like how the story would end, or even if it would end. So TF2, I'm putting it in A tier. Solid shooter, interesting enough lore. I wish they adapted the lore better to the game. So I mean, if they brought back the comic, then who's to say like what else they're gonna do next? So
alright, here I come. Da, 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 da.
Next up we got Henry Stickmin, the collection. I only grabbed the collection one because actually I have played all of the Henry Stickmin games. When the Escaping the Prison, I think it's called. I played that before any of the other guys played it, and I had a blast. And then I watched them after because I didn't want to be like spoiled. I love all the references.
Way! All right there.
It's funny. It's a little dumb, but overall it's not a bad time. I've had my time with it. So, B. I still pull off that distraction dance sometimes.
Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bomb is shaped like a deer. DUI, how about
Undertale. Okay, here, you guys are seeing this. Undertale has created, so far, one of my most viewed videos of all time, and I don't regret it. I do not regret it at all. It is a very fun game to this day. The soundtrack is amazing. It defined a good portion of my childhood before I became an adult. Undertale, I went through a crazy, like, comic dub phase with it. I've watched so many Undertale fan dubs. It's not even funny. But anyway, yeah, S tier, the music is amazing. I love that as well. And, yeah, I square in the S tier. Alright, next up we have Five Nights at Freddy's, but I didn't know whether or not to like just do the first game or the franchise altogether. So what I'm gonna do is I am essentially ranking FNaF 1 through 4, essentially, because that's where like my hype for the game's franchise was peaked. But once FNaF World hit and then Sister Location came out, I think that's kind of when I took a little bit of a step back from it, because I was like, what is all this? What is all this new stuff? And then that movie trailer dropped, and I swear, we are so back, boys. Still love FNaF. I love the franchise as a whole. All the characters are amazing. Jesus, Scott Cottonfield. But FNaF 1 through 4 is where my hype for it was the highest. But anything after FNaF World, it kind of fluctuated a little bit. But still, I'll always have a soft spot for it. And it's my biggest inspiration. Scott Cawthon's story and all his older games before FNaF have really just inspired me to... I believe I'm in the right position to do a lot more with my life, which is why I'm coming back to YouTube in the first place. And I have a lot of cool ideas that I would love to bring to life, and hopefully many people will enjoy them. So, FNaF 1 through 4, S tier. First up on my list,
I never thought I'd see it with my own eye.
tickets to the SpongeBob movie?
SpongeBob the movie, the game. If you didn't know this existed, well, you do now. I love the SpongeBob movie. I love the video game. I love a lot of SpongeBob video games. There's two on here. I think I honestly prefer this game over Battle for Bikini Bottom, even the remake.
Hold on, wait. Hey. Hey! Hey!
It's hard to say whether I'd even put this game that highly on here. I mean, okay. That's already offensive for me to say to myself. I think there's a lot to this game that still hold up. The soundtrack, weirdly enough, even though a lot of it doesn't exactly have the same vibe as like your average like Spongebob episode or even the movie, it's still just like that ice cream shop theme song. Man, this really does take me back. When I think about why I love SpongeBob so much, this is one of the first things that come to mind. When you end up going to the movies version of the Salty Spittoon, that track goes pretty hard. And that song that hits when you're going down the sledding levels. Which, by the way, the levels where you're in the trench and you're on the like sled, that both terrified me, but also is a lot of fun. It's probably my favorite section aside from that the one with the Cyclops, because he would jump scare you around the level and that would freak me out.
Hello, Mario.
Even the main menu theme song, I think it's really the music that does it for me. I think this game is still something to behold even to this day. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. I wouldn't say it defined my childhood by any means, but it certainly was a fun time.
Who are you?
Minecraft. But more specifically, I'm talking about the Minecraft from like the 360 era. I loved the game up until, let's say, before the Electra came out. Because I'm pretty sure once the Electra update happened or whatever, that's when all the new shit started coming in. Like the Woodland Mansion, the new mobs that started coming in and everything. I think Minecraft, for me personally, I still love the game now. Like, I still play it to this day. I love all the new stuff. I love all the new, like, everything that it's coming out with. But for this list specifically, I'm more talking about the 360 era before the Electra came out. It was an amazing game. It's an amazing game. For somebody like me who's, like, super creative and just wants to find time to mess around with my head and play around with what the game has to offer, it's the same reason I love Garry's Mod so much. But Minecraft was a bit more primitive than Garry's Mod, I would say. Mostly due to the fact that it didn't have a lot to work off of based on like getting super creative. Like Garry's Mod, you can get really creative. But Minecraft, you're kind of just working with what you got. So I think that puts it just right below Garry's Mod for me. But again, what it does introduce by itself within the game, even back then, was so interesting, we were all terrified of Herobrine. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna put my Minecraft even during that era, right here.
You fucking kidding me with this?
Next up, we have Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. It's a game I was introduced to by my cousin, and it really is a pain to say, but this game just feels like the definition of wasted potential. Just the idea alone was such a fun and awesome idea. However, the game was just brought down by the fact that it was lacking in every other department. Like, just look at this menu. It's Batman vs. Scorpion, and they keep fighting as you navigate the menu, making you think you're in for a great time. But I'll just say, I could have been a lot more invested if they actually took the writing more seriously. The final boss is a fusion of Darkseid and Shao Kahn into this fire demon thing. Kinda reminds me of the boss from Armageddon. And the dialogue is just a bland mess of plot holes and bullshit just to keep the story going, all to just make excuses for these guys to fight each other. This isn't a new thing with all the MK or even the Injustice games, really. But in most other games, the story usually provides a good enough answer as to why everything is happening, good enough for us to just go along with it and move on. In this game, they just keep exposition dumping when we don't need it. In reality, I think most of us would be cool with the fact if Scorpion and Sub-Zero were just another set of villains or even anti-heroes from the DC universe, existing unconsensually, and vice versa for the DC characters in MK. Though it'd be a little harder to explain the tights, but you know. Though I will give the game this credit. All the character designs are iconic. These are exactly how I'd expect each of the characters to look in a 3D space, and I wish they would actually incorporate these designs more often in the Injustice games. I actually have an action figure of Batman that looks scarily similar to the MK vs DC model, and I really like it. This game is going into D tier. Don't ask why it shows up later in C tier, because honestly, I have no clue. Alright, the next one is also a fighting game, but I'm going to put it a little bit higher above this one, because I have put a lot of hours into Calibur V solely because of the character creator. And the character creator is a very diverse set of options that you can customize your character. My only real gripe with it is I just feel like there's not really enough variety in the kind of characters that you can use. Half of the creator is just you relying on the moveset of the character you pick, which kind of limits, at least my imagination. If you look at my list that I'm going to show off right now, I had to either use the same exact character over and over again, or just forget any idea of making a certain character in the first place, because it's just not there. So that's kind of what kept me annoyed with it for a while, because it's I showed it off to my friends and they're like, half of these guys have just the same exact moves, you know? And I was like, yeah, it's a great game for creation and stuff, but you just gotta get past how short the roster is, all things considered. Maybe it's because I haven't unlocked all of them, but I haven't put that many hours into the story, you know? I did it for a little bit just to unlock some stuff, but all in all, I only got this game because of the character creation. I'm not aware of the Calibur lore.
Where'd that boost come from? I don't think I want this costume anymore.
Alright, next up is Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Yes, I have my memories with it, but I love it for a specific reason. It introduced me to Spider-Man 2099, and I think he, along with Spider-Man Noir, have become some of my favorite variants of Spider-Man, and it also is the game that helped inspire Spider-Verse, so I got to see both my favorite variants on the big screen. So I don't think I'm alone in the fact that it's very much a watered-down version of the Arkham games, which isn't a bad thing. I actually really like it because of that. And I said 2099 is my favorite variant, but his gameplay in this one specifically wasn't really my favorite. My favorite was Ultimate Spider-Man. Anytime a Spider-Man game featured the black suit, I was already hooked. The black suit was just edgy Spider-Man, and I loved it. So I'm just gonna give this game B tier. It's not, well, it's hard to say because I just listed off every reason why it should be higher, but I don't know, every time I revisit it, it's just B tier, because I'm gonna be here for a while if I don't make my decision.
I keep when I'm upset, okay?
Alright, next up, I don't have an excuse for this. This is Kung Fu Panda, and you know what? Yes, I do. There was just an era of video games where any and all animated movies got a video game adaptation or some kind of spin-off afterward. I was a sucker for them. If Megamind 2 and the spin-off show that came after that came out back in those days, I probably wouldn't have questioned it as much because I was just like, oh, more Megamind lore. This game also introduced us to characters like the Ox Guy from Kung Fu Panda 2 and these crazy cat ladies from that one animated short. Just because it expands the lore just a little bit and all the extra content you get that the movies don't have, and that was part of the whole thing with these games too. It was it introduced so much stuff that weren't featured in the movie or show, and I would eat that up because I love learning new things about the characters. So, you know what? Oh, I will say too, the voice acting is kind of funny.
Whoa, you were great! Gee, well, thanks so much, kid!
I'll put it in A tier. Why not? The graphics have aged like fine milk, but you know what? There are just some parts to the movie, the game, that really made me like stick around with it and put a lot of hours into it.
Every time I do that, it makes me respawn.
Saints Row 3. I'ma be honest, I might also put this in S tier.
This game is what got me through quarantine, on God.
I come back to this game every damn time. I feel like I have some kind of curse with Saints Row, because I keep coming back to it at least multiple times a year. And I recently just bought it for Steam, so... It's a game that my brother owns, and he's had it around for a while. And I'll be honest, I think I prefer this game over GTA, any of them. It's the same kind of reason why I put Soul Calibur on here. The character creation, it's not a lot, but it works. I love creating like the idea of certain characters in there, creating my own vehicle, and the weapons were way more entertaining as well. We didn't talk about that one purple weapon. The game is not a work of art, but for some reason it's one of those comfort games, you know what I mean? It was a good part of my childhood. I don't know, and I've also beaten the story of this game like several times already, and I have no regrets. Wait. Idea! Alright, now we're getting into the Wii section of this list.
Chilling with my boys and we cruising down the street. Yeah. It's getting really hot, yeah, these bars are super heat. Yeah, driving in this car, yeah, we finna go to Mars. Yeah, I'm really fucking sad, I might go and crash the car.
What? Here's one. It's another game I kind of find to be comforting, but I don't really play it as often as some of these others. Kirby's Epic Yarn. And the reason I say comfort game is because I'm not the biggest fan of Kirby. Never really have. But every time I turn this game on, I think it's very easy to get into. It's really nice to play. The music is beautiful. Like, honestly, Nintendo doesn't really go wrong with its music. It goes wrong in a lot of other areas, but you know what? I'm just gonna give this game a C, just to be simple with it.
Batman would never hit a defenseless woman.
Funny. I don't have that problem.
Next is Batman the Brave and the Bold for the Wii. I find it amusing that Batman Brave and the Bold has only recently gotten like recognition as being like a good series. Like, not every show has to be dark and brooding like Batman the Animated Series or Beyond or literally any other Batman property out there that doesn't have him in bright blue. But overall, I really like this game. But it's kind of repetitive. I love all the characters they introduced. Like, Blue Beetle is my favorite character throughout both, like, the game and the show. And I'm super happy he got his movie. I thought it was kind of mid, personally. But you know what? You gotta take your W when you can. And plus, Blue Beetle fans are now getting their special recognition. Alright? So, but overall, like, I love the game. The music's cool. The gameplay itself is pretty fun, especially when you're playing co-op. I feel like you need to play this game in co-op for it to be like truly fun. So, not to insult it, but I'm gonna put it in C tier. And plus, it replicates the art style perfectly. I don't know how they managed to do it. They must have just had a really fun time making the sprites for this game. This is the second Spongebob game. Okay. This is actually the first video game I actually managed to beat the story all the way through as a child. And I say that's an accomplishment because I never really even made it that far through any video game. I never beaten the story of anything until this one. I feel like that should put it up a little higher, but I really liked the Patrick section where he was a superhero. The SpongeBob driving segment scared me because of the face he would make the whole time. Plankton, I have no thoughts in his section really. And then the whole plot twist of the game being like, it was all a dream, which we all knew that. But looking back on it and playing it again, I didn't really like it. So, but I like it more than this thing. So, I'm gonna put it in C tier. Now would probably be a good time to let you guys know. If you're enjoying this so far, first off, thank you. But second of all, about that. If you guys want to see more of me and more videos like this, please hit the like button. And if you want to keep up with my next endeavors, hit the subscribe button. And also feel free to follow me on Instagram, so that I'm very active on there. I share a lot to my story, so you'll never be bored. But back to the video.
There's so much of my life I never got to do. Play in the Olympics, become a werewolf, travel back in time and become a knight of King Arthur's Round Table.
Sonic and the Black Knight, S tier. And both of these, S tier. They're S buddies, if you will. And the only reason, well, there's several reasons, but the reason why these games are both S tier is because Sonic and the Black Knight is what got me into the franchise in the first place. Sonic Heroes was the first game I ever played in the Sonic franchise. Sonic and the Black Knight is what got me more and more intrigued with the franchise. I specifically remember the Game Grumps series about this game.
And he's gonna do the chin move! Unavoidable chin move! Unavoidable chin move! What the? Man, I grew up with this game and fuck! Man, my memories are so... Were you a pained child? Did you have a dark and brooding past?
I have autism. I will be honest though, I really did feel bad for Aaron in this video. He had to do this entire game all by himself. Like, Dan never stepped in, never was like, it's okay buddy, let me try. No, he had to do the whole damn thing. And I just feel bad for him because I know how hard that game can be sometimes. But still, skill issue. I've beaten this game 3 times in a row. It's still amazing. The soundtrack is a bop. The fact that near the end you get to switch between all the characters is amazing. And then that final ending where he meets with Merlina. The final message of this whole game is just, hey, everything is going to come to an end, but it's okay, because we're going to make the best of it. And also, immortality is bad, but also the final score for this game really, like, sends it home what it means to, like, just enjoy your life, man. Like, I know things might be bad, and things might seem, like, really dark in the future, and even right now, but in the end, you gotta find the light and stick to it when you can, you know? I'm looking way too deep into this, so now let's move on to the funny rabbit game.
Now keep driving, you black spear chucker piece of shit!
Now the main reason this game is even on here in the first place is, again, the soundtrack, kind of a running theme. Just look at this real quick. They got the guy who sang the Deo song from Beetlejuice. They got the band that sung Rasputin. I don't know who these guys are, but I've seen some videos and shows they've been on, so they mean something. And also, I just really like how different the game is in general. It's a 3D platformer with a shopping cart. Decent! All you really gotta do in this game is collect groceries and other items, fight Verminators, strip people to make a giant pile to the moon. No, I'm not joking. Both of these games are going in S tier and you will like it. Now we're entering the era that pretty much started it all for me. The PlayStation 2 era of video games is something to behold. I know I put a game in here that came out during the PS4 era, but I meant to put that at the end. But either way,
I don't talk about feelings, Alfred. I don't have any. I've never seen one. I'm a night-stalking, crime-fighting vigilante.
First off, we have the very first Lego Batman game. And I really like this game. For the time, it was very much it's a very small game. Like, I managed to get through most of the story in less than, like, half a day. There's not much to it, but this was also the time before, like, Lego games had full-fledged voice acting. So all the characters would make these, like, grunting noises. It's kind of funny. The fun of this game for me came from all the different selections of suits you can use to progress. My favorite being the Batwings, and the different unlockable characters you could play as in free play mode. B for Batman. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, considering the fact that we're going back to Vice City real soon in GTA 6. I thought it would be fun and nice to include this because I did play this game for a little bit when I was a kid. It's one of the earliest memories I have with the PS2. My second memory being Spider-Man 2. Or no, it was the Spider-Man game before the second one, but it was also the Sam Raimi movie. And I actually still have it because it's kind of fun. Vice City was my first introduction to GTA. And I really loved playing around with the mechanic of getting like a wanted level, waiting for all the cops to come. I would unalive one of the NPCs and then wait for the ambulance to show up. I would intentionally like unalive myself by the cops, and then as soon as they unalive me, the ambulance would revive me, and then I'd immediately like win the day. So I don't know, it's just a little. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It didn't make that big of an impact, and also this is the only GTA game where you can run around with a chainsaw. And I'll be honest, I did not get into R-rated games until much later, and instead I chose these games.
Like Zoink Scoob, the monster's right behind that door.
Don't worry, Ricky. I'm wrapped.
Next is Scooby Doo Unmasked. I think I prefer Night of 100 Frights more, but you know what? This is the game that also stuck around for a while because I just bought it recently, and weirdly enough, it still holds up. Not as much as 100 Frights, but this is a fun game, and I'm a huge fan of Scooby Doo. I even watched the original show on Boomerang when it was still around. I just don't think it really holds up to most of these others, but I don't hate it, so see. We got the last one in the PlayStation 2 games, and that is Sonic Heroes. And considering the fact that it introduced me to the Sonic franchise and down this rabbit hole I'll never escape from, A tier. Just as simple as that. I really love, okay, let's be real. For those who know, Sonic Heroes is a very primitive game. Not primitive, but what it was going for was not exactly something I thought the PS2 could handle. I think it would be a much better game to bring back to the modern day and try to redo it from that, because the fast-paced action where you gotta switch between each character for certain places and times feels like it's something that could only be done with modern Sonic. I love the cutscenes because they were during that weird period of time when Sonic was getting more advanced in his animation, and I just weirdly really like the aesthetic of these cutscenes. It's like all the characters are suddenly very shiny. They look like toys. And I think that's what appealed me to them for so long. And I just really love the way the characters move in these cutscenes, how they look. Metal Sonic scared me, genuinely. And then it introduced me to my boy Shadow. I gotta remind you guys, this is all from my perspective. This is my nostalgic childhood we're talking about. So that was my first introduction to all the characters that are involved. And I think it was a pretty cool place to start, all things considered, just because you have a healthy smattering of Sonic lore characters and one of the coolest boss fights you'll ever see. And just the Neo Metal Sonic's design is the coolest thing you will ever see, and I will die on that hill.
Feast mode activated. #hungry. Feed me more.
And the final one is a weird one, because I would put it in the same vein as Happy Wheels. See, I haven't played it in years, and the only way I even played it was through the PS4's motion capture type technology, where you had to move the controller around as you're hammering at the guy's ribs. I don't think that was really the smartest way to play it. I did eventually get the game for VR, but even then I only played it so much. It's really hard to say. I followed YouTubers like Markiplier who played this game a lot, and I even watched him play the sequel. But honestly, I don't know. I just don't have that high of feelings about it. There's not much to it nowadays that really sticks out to me. I just remember being really involved with this game during the time period it came out. Happy Wheels and Surgeon Simulator, those were what I was into during the time. But I just think Happy Wheels surpasses Surgeon Simulator by it's got a 1-tier advantage. So this is my list of nostalgic video games from my childhood, but now I want to ask you guys a question that I want you to put in the comments for me. What are your top 5 nostalgic video games? Games that just make you, when you think about them, you're just oh man, I wish I can go back to play it, or I might just go back to play that later. Like, you know what I mean? Put top 5 of your nostalgic video games in the comments and rank them like how I have mine here. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Like I said, you can leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And also, if you guys have been paying attention, I made these shirts just for this video. Are you a 2000s gamer like me, and you want to show off your gaming pride? Well, look no further than these Design Express style graphic t-shirts by heading to my business socials with the links in the description, or you can use the links in my channel bio. You can message me or leave an email to get more details on ordering and shipping. Replies usually come within 1 to 2 business days, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I made them so that you can show off your nostalgic gaming pride by showing off where you started. For me, I personally started from the PlayStation 2. That's why I made it like this. But I also got the Wii, and I got the Xbox 360. And you can find all these shirts on my Facebook and Instagram. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I hope to see you again soon. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later.